Hello, guys. I'm here. We're going to talk about, just for a little while, it's not going to be for a long time, as how people expect it to be, because there are expectations, and people's expectations should lower, not get higher, of already knowing who someone truly is. What's the next step? Is someone going to be doing something for far too long this time? Possibly not, because we have already discovered that the spiritual community isn't safe anymore. It's beyond me that no one can see this. Um, it has been infiltrated by narcissistic people. Now that we have accepted and admitted this, we should not play their game. Because when we continue to play their game, you'll lose everything that you have, your business, if you have one, and you're meant to do something to see things like tarot readings. They have attacked the spiritual and tarot reading community because they like to play this game, and they will never think it's them. That's the problem. So I just think that um, just because I have already experienced narcissistic ways, I call, I have already called my own the ultimate narcissistic experience, because it was the ultimate. I got to know the most extreme of narcissists, according to ego, according to what they think about themselves. I suggest certain readers not to play this game. What I mean by is, don't try to tell them that they're the problem. Or, you can try, right? But to repeat it over and over again, it's not a really good thing to do. You can say it once and leave it at that. And it's whoever that gets the message and the information, because that's what how I'm doing it. I'm like, here's a message. Uh it's on to the person, it's up to someone to understand what that means. And there's no repetitive messages about it, because for what I know about, like, the ultimate narcissistic ways, uh they do play dumb, but they want you to keep going. That's another part that I have learned. um according to also like with the whole tarot readings, you get to know like that there might be some belief in them. They believe in it, but they play this game as they don't. And but then they're like acting dumb. It's and then also saying it's not them. It's not going to happen to them. You must be lying over there. You must be making something up over there. They like saying these things, but this is self denial. Now, when something true comes out of tarot, when it always is, I think it's best not to repeat oneself over and over again because you're already knowing, like, listen, I think somewhat deep down inside they believe in it, but they don't want to admit it. That's where we are dealing with this. And moving forward, I hope, you know, they slow down what they're doing because I know exactly why they're doing it, how they're doing it, because it's not a good idea to do get backs. You know what I mean? Get backs at narcissists because they will never see it. It's for them. They will always listen to your story because this is how it is. They will listen to you and then they cannot compute as to how or why or something about how are you saying that or how is that, why is that you're saying that, because nothing's happening to me now. That's their how they process it. It's because it's not happening to them at the moment. So they go by at the moment, but then sorry to say, this is not at the moment. They're really going to lose their time and energy and everything to figure it out if it is they are the reasons why they're going to be in their heads because they're wondering when is this going to be. I don't care, like these people did their own, karma on their own selves of playing this mind game and everyone is in it too. I just really don't care anymore where this is going. This is going behind me 100% because the first step that we need to admit is that there's narcissists that has infiltrated 100%, like totally. You will not come across them in any channel unless it's a positive channel. You won't see them there because well you might, but then they just go to places that speaks about karma, betrayals, self-sabotage, downfalls, anything that has a negative sound to it, they go to it. Like as if they are like addicted to the drama, addicted to the chaos. So they're not going to anything positive. They just want to be there and maybe wonder that if it is them, but they will never admit it's them. For an example, when they start to talk about like when the card starts to explain like female and male, Oh, it's the female that's going to have the luck now. That's not, because if there's a narcissistic masculine listening, that's not what they're getting. They will be like, because it depends on how the reading is going. Now, if it's a whole mix of chaos and then in the end there is, a positive outcome, they will only listen to the negative parts, what has happened, right? And I don't think it's going to compute in their brain that the woman gets the fortune in the end, because the man masculine narcissist won't see that. You know what I mean? Or vice versa, does it matter? Like, if we get a man's final, it gets even worse, is that they're self-denying their own backfire, and they're listening to a reading that actually speaks about a good outcome to a masculine, but it's not to the actual narcissistic man that's listening. Um, and then we're going to have to be careful with that. And the consumer is going to have to be careful, and the audience and everything, because people will start to have this thought of, oh, it's them that's going to get the fortunes, when it's not. It's actually self-sabotaging the self-denial, not wanting to know what it is, but then the truth is right there. But the problem is, they want something that is right now, or something like that. Like, okay, you're saying this, I want to see this happening now, because this is not how it works. The psychic readings and tarot readings do not work this way. Okay. But then when they start thinking, oh, it doesn't work this way, so then it's not real, because they want instant, you know, results. They go by that, and that, when it when it comes to prediction, that's not what it is. You'll never get it the next day. You'll never see it the next day. It's going to be for possibly, uh, there is, it varies a lot. It varies. It can be the next 3 days, the next 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Now, no one knows when exactly that actual message is going to be. And then this is when they all get impatient. They all get impatient, and then they start to, not believe in it, and then make fun of it. It's kind of like giving the time for them to see it for themselves. And sometimes situations that, they won't be able to see it, you know. And it might be too late for them. You know what I mean? It might be too late for them to see, or maybe if they do see it, it's too late for them. It's a very harsh lesson for them. Uh, for an example, they go to jail, they go to prison, they didn't wait for that one, and then it's too late for them to change their mind by that time. Or they die or something. It's too late for them to change their mind. They're already dead. So, you know, it's just serious situations like this that these people just, they will never see it until it's too extreme, like very, very extreme in their face. And then it's just going to be a moment that they cannot do anything. It'll get them in a position stuck, like they can't even speak to no one anymore. Like, of course, you get restricted in jail and prison, and then the same thing as is when you're dead. You can't even say anything. You can't even speak. Well, the thing is, I hope people learn from what they're doing. Okay. If you do not stop right away, you're going to get stuck in a cycle that it'll get very addicting for you, and you can't move away from it because it's actually mixing passion with some addiction to something because the narcissist gave it to you, or the narcissist started it for you, or narcissists, which is more than one. Doesn't have to be just only one, but you know how everything infiltrated. And it's really sad seeing these people stuck in a cycle of, it's starting to sink in right now of where are they at right now, of trying to get back at a narcissist. You can't. I think they're trying to debunk that. Uh, they're trying to debunk that advice, which is a very sad thing to see. They're trying to see, you know, like if whatever that they got themselves in with certain narcissists, that got into the situation, they're gonna mess their whatever they created because of trying to get the narcissist to understand something. Well, you can't. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna say any further here because all this that what they are in a never-ending cycle about, I really just don't know if they even actually experience narcissistic people. Yeah, it might be fun at the time, but it's just there's going to be a downward spiral, and there might be like fun for some time, but then there's going to be a moment of complete annihilation in the end. Like, I mean, annihilation of who you are, your identity, and that's how it's going to go. Because these people are being stuck in a loop that the narcissist wants you to be in, and you keep going, you're showing everyone what you're doing. The narcissist knows how to play on that. No, the narcissist does not believe in spells. The narcissist is looking at you as you're dumb, you're stupid. Uh, who actually believes in that? Gonna make you to keep going and say, nah, well, the thing is, the truth is gonna come out, and they're gonna say, what spells? It's you. You did it to yourself all along. Oh, we all know. You're saying spells is who we are, that we are doing it. We're not doing anything. You must lost your mind. That's exactly how it's gonna go. If anyone thinks using the whole thing about spells and to cause fear and everything, they know they don't believe in that. That there's certain narcissists that has hard time believing certain things. See, that's why you can't keep going with that because they're gonna get you in a loop that you don't want to be in. Um, but there is certain plans. This is what I know, that there's plans according to these narcissists, because you can say flying monkeys. I think they're all narcissists. No, I am so sorry. They are a narcissist too, along with them, in groups or something. And they see the same things, understand the same things, and that's it. You're done for. You're done for. This is not just flying monkeys we're talking about. They all think the same, talk the same, walk the same, have the same lifestyle, and you're not winning. This is the ultimate narcissistic experience. So I suggest people to stop what they're doing, according to trying to say karma, 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 self sabotage, self sabotage, and it's not going through to them. You think it is when it's not. Now you're in a position that now you are the one looking like you want that to happen to people. See? that this is the reasons why it's just so fucking good, you know? Talk about the new, talk about the new, talk about the new. Get them angry. Talk about the new, how good that is. What are you talking about, Karma, all the goddamn time? Talk about the goddamn new. What are you doing? And also, reconciliation never going to happen when someone had a narcissistic ex. Anyone who would be coming out here trying to tell people what to do, especially me, and I got experience in that, and I don't need no cards for that. I don't need to fucking know. I don't need to know shit about cards for that shit. I already went through it. I'm seeing how all of these is going through, and everyone out here is going through it. Every reader, every spiritualist, every tarot reader, I know what it is. They're trying to make you, I swear to God, they better stop. And I'm here just trying to say, yeah, it's been fun, but according to the narcissist of how long he wants it to be, they're actually um stirring a pot as much as possible, as long as possible, and actually tell everyone, show everyone this is how long this person has been talking like this. This is how long this person using your history, using your videos, everything against you. And your reputation's going down, your popularity is going down, and you have to, if people really want to look good now, they're going to have to add monies on to so that the views keep going. I'm sorry, these people are going to get broke trying to make themselves look better and to try to defeat against a narcissist. This is what's going on. And then that's why I say stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. You are not popular. This is not like this anymore. Stop putting your monies in to try to prove a point to a narcissist. The narcissist knows already you're doing that and is playing with you and playing dumb too, but still knows, yeah, this shit is real. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you play with that kind of bullshit over there, you're gonna get fucked. And I keep on saying you're gonna get fucked. But hey, it's on them to fucking know and see. And it's like, it's on you if you want to, you know, if you really want is to just ruin all your monies, use it all up just so that you can look good for everyone else. Because of narcissistic people, you're gonna get broke. What are you doing trying to prove anything? It's just how the narcissist got you in a point. And that's it. But all I can say now, whatever happened to me is whatever the fuck happened to me over here. It's true. It was true. I was doing all the readings between 2014 to 2017. All that was true. uh when it started to come in 2016, I would say, or 15, that was true. Whatever happened in my life, now that is gone. Now we're not going to be doing this anymore. Maybe the narcissist thinks so, but nah, I'm unpredictable. Sorry, honey. I think you need to go back to the house, back to the drug addicts that you love. Like, it's like we have to tell these people who have not lived proper lives, you know what I mean, all their lives, and they think the moment that they leave you, you come running back. No, because they're used to people that are codependent. So they go to codependent people and it's like, yeah, you'll come back after. You'll come back after. Because they're used to the druggies and the hoes. Those are the desperate ones. Now, if a narcissist thinks I'm that, I would say you got the wrong one. This one over here, if this one over here was in your life, honey, it's not going to be anymore. It's not going to be like that druggie over there and that hoe over there. And it's time to set an example to the idiot and idiots that are this, because we get to know is their lifestyle is what the fuck they're used to about. Even if they don't say it, it's just like, I know already what you're so used to about. Because if you think you can do this to me, blah, 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 and all that, and, you know, people can do all this, these readings about, I just don't know why they keep on talking about kicking people out of houses, having them homeless. What are we doing over here? Are we enabling the narcissist? I don't know what this is going on. What are you talking about? Uh Broke, homeless. Who's broke? Is my question. Because the readers can say all they want about broke and homeless all they want. I don't know why they're doing that. Uh if they think they are actually traumatizing the narcissist, I just don't know what's going on. No, you never is. You never is doing that. This, listen, guys, I swear, I don't know if they still get it or not. I don't know. Maybe they never, maybe a narcissist went into their life just recently and and it's their first time getting into their life. I don't know what it is. If that's the case, oh, they better listen to this. That it doesn't matter if something happens to them or not. They will still try to find a way to get themselves out of that situation. You know what I mean? If they find themselves broke or something, it's like, hello, of course. But just like anyone else on survival mode, right? Right? Just like everyone else. Now, when the narcissist finds themselves, back again to how they usually are, they're going to be saying, hey, no, nothing happened to me. I'm still good. So, what's all this all about? What's the point? What's the point of talking about this, mentioning about it, you know, talking, mentioning, broke, homeless, kicked out? Like, that's not phasing the narcissist. If someone thinks so, there's something here about trying to phase someone, but then they have to start to think about other people. Uh, you know, what if you are actually what's really talking out of your mouth might make someone else worry and they're not narcissistic. So now what you're doing is you're creating this fear for everyone to be scared about. just because you want to win over a narcissist. It's not looking good because now it's looking like you're always fear based. What's going on? You're always doing this. You're supposed to guide people. What are you doing? You're always on it because you want to try and understand, and everything, but you'll never find a medium with a narcissist. Like you will never find a middle ground or a medium. It's impossible. I suggest people to stop. The readers, just stop. Okay, it's 36 minutes. I think this podcast is long enough. So we're going to be stopping. I hope people will listen. And this is not a competition anymore. This is sharing experience that you will never find a medium ground. Never. You're just wasting your energy, your time. You're going to get even worse. You might get sick. Now, please, anyone in the spiritual community, don't say it spells. Because now you're not admitting something that's real in your face. And it might seem like a spell or whatever when it's not. People are going to have to understand everyone has different personalities. People go in different ways, especially a narcissist, and you can't use spells or have excuses. It's a spell when it's not. It's not. I hope everyone wakes up because everyone definitely fell into the belief that it was when it's not. In the spiritual community. And whoever decided to get in here and to get into the whole beliefs of some things and try to maybe sugarcoat, you know, whatever a narcissist is. And I'm sorry to say that that's who they are. You can't change them. That's who they are. They will always be that way until they die. Like there's certain people that will never ever do that and change. They will die. You can fall for some, you know, you can fall for some belief that there was a chance for them to change. I don't know. Because there's certain ones that there's no going back and there's no when it comes to themselves, they have already told themselves no going back. So no, the point of no return for themselves and how they should treat people and treat situations. Maybe they've been around a lot of narcissistic people and they think everyone's this way, and then how can you really make that person change when all they can think of is everyone's the same because they've been around narcissistic people, maybe family, maybe other people, friends too. It's as if the person couldn't run away from narcissistic people. They were everywhere. And then that's why, that person most likely told themselves point of no return, right? For themselves. And then people choose to, die and not really change. And it is what it is. Um, as sad how it is, it's that sad. It's very sad to know that they don't want to. Their belief has already been gone. Like maybe very, very, very like early in life or something. Their belief of something. It's just a belief of something. Maybe loyalty. So if loyalty has gone out the window of belief that there is loyalty out there, it's out the window. It's out the window. They're really have, and then they start to project what they are lacking to other people. They start to say, no one's loyal, no one's loyal, and just projecting their what they gave up about long, long ago. And it was long ago though. It's not just, oh, it just happened because of, oh, the marriage didn't work out or something like that. No, it's when they were much, much younger. So please be careful before you believe anything that a narcissist says and tells you of how they lost their loyalty of something, lost their belief in that. And careful when people go around, and especially when it's a narcissist, telling. And when I say people, because we don't know if they are, narcissistic. But then when people start to go around and say, no one's loyal, nobody's loyal, that stems from their childhood wounds and what they have already given up really early in life. And it's no one's else's problem about it. It's not my problem if that happened. You know, if they chose to stop believing in it, but that doesn't mean they can just go out there and be out there and tell everyone and teach and preach everyone like they're a preacher or something. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you can try to be that, but you can't get me to think that there's no loyalty still out there or something. Or that it's hard to trust someone, hard to trust this, hard to trust that. Mm-mm. There's going to be coming a time you're supposed to let people in. You can't stop that. And that's when you become an old age, and then you have to let, I'm sorry. I am so sorry right now. Oh my God, I just went there. Yeah, because they leave that part out of it. They don't want to think about that because that's weak spot, that's weakness, that's vulnerable. Nah, I don't want to talk about that. And then listen, The only time that that they're gonna have to let people in is when they get so old as fuck and they can't do shit and their diapers are gonna have to be changed. That's when you're gonna have to let that people in and trust whoever's changing your diapers, cleaning you off, because you can't fucking do it. Because surely, maybe your sons and daughters and everything don't want to do it, right? So don't think for a second that your son and your daughter wants to do. Listen, guys, I swear, I'm sorry. I want them, because this is all about, how people just lost all trust and loyalty of thinking that being loyal or loyalty does not, it doesn't exist until you become old age. And then once we bring that in, that reality, if people want to say reality, let me tell you reality right now and punch your lights out. And it's like, that's reality right there. But that's something you don't want to think about. But then you will be in that position very soon. Very soon. Anyone else wants to talk shit about me, I would love to know about that. Because I will shut everything down once I start going to work. Right back to work. People gonna understand I am going. And when I do, I'll shut everything down if someone's talking shit about me, about anything. Anything they think that they know better than me, smarter than me. And you're not smarter than me, honey, whoever you are. But I know what you don't want to think about. I know the things that you don't want to go there about, because it's to this, to that for you, to this. Nah, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, you can't stop time from happening. You can't stop life from happening. You can't stop nothing from happening. Nothing. You can't. I don't care how weak, how vulnerable you are, or what you think about loyalty and trust. I don't care. But if you have a problem with it, that's your issue and problem. But don't go out here and saying, it's a dime a dozen, it's a dime a dozen, blah, 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 about finding someone to trust. Then you start to see that, oh, yeah, I can trust people. Yeah. And there's going to be coming a point that a time will come, because this is how things happen. And some people always have these thought process of like, yeah, right. What if like the nurse actually beats me up, or like, I'm like, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about. If people want to talk about beat up, maybe to those who are completely, controlling and messed up in the head and stuff, those things happen. But when people start going to the fear thoughts, and then once they get there and nothing's happening to them, nothing, and it's like, oh, then all that was a lie, then all that, and it's like, yeah, what if it is all a lie, right? And then you got fooled. And then, of course, some narcissists don't like to, the certain narcissistic people don't like to be fooled too, They don't like to be fooled. Of like, and then they get shocked in the end, like, I thought this and I thought that, when it was never that, ever. Ever. Just once you start to get to the old age, and then you have to have people to come in and help you, you get to see, is it true or is it not? And I always tell people, give chances, I always tell people, go there and do this. Even if, the person themselves don't want it to be, but the reasons why, because of fear of, oh, can I trust and all that. But in the end of everything, it might not be that. And it's like, oh, what? So all this was a lie. And yeah, it was all over media too, of how nurses and people uh in nursing homes and stuff beating seniors up. Listen, because I'm talking about old age over here right now, and how that is going to change everyone's mindset. But the thing is, it's all a lie. But then there's certain people that, there's going to come a time that you can't do it all, right? And then you have to give it up. This is what I was trying to talk to my ex-boyfriend about. He didn't want to listen. He was too much on a control thing, that I'm like, okay, I see what type of person you are, but you're going to see for yourself in your own time that you can't do this all the time. That maybe, just maybe, your mama is just going to go downwards and downwards of the health, and actually how she can't move anymore. And what are you going to do? Because you can't even, you know, do a whole bunch, and then you have to start to lift her up and lift her going somewhere, and everything, all your life is on her now. Now, what if something happens and she needs to go to the hospital? And then because something happens, okay, because things is happening on my side over here. And I'm like, everyone was thinking, yeah, we're going to be doing this. We don't need to have other people to do everything for her, for my grandma. And I'm like, no, no, it's going to come to a point. It's going to have to. It's going to, like, some things might happen to, when we get older, something might come in. Something, all of a sudden, your mama doesn't even know you anymore, doesn't recognize you, has a problem. Now you got a problem. Now it's like a loss of memory or dementia. Don't even know who you are. Now how will you feel now when that starts happening? That your own mama don't even know you anymore, or grandma for that fact. That like everything's gone out the window. Yeah, now you got a problem. Now you are dealing with something. Now it's gonna, like, I don't know, man. Shit happens like that. Shit will happen like that. And if people think that they know what the hell it is when it comes to being old and life and everything, and are we able to trust and be loyal and all this, and I'm like, yeah, you can trust. You have to trust. You have to let someone in, and others in. You can't keep them out of there, because there's going to have needed nurses, doctors to see what's up. And also, they can't go to your house all the time. You need to go to the hospital. That's the whole thing. That's everything over there. Because that's the part right there that everyone likes to have, but then certain people don't want that, and then this whole control and everything going on, and I'm like, I'm sorry, these people want to control so much. They're, what the fuck is going on? I'll tell you the end result. It's gonna be on the hospital or some place to take care of someone, to take care, like, it's either hospital or uh a nursing home, a nursing home or a retirement home. I don't know, whatever that you want to say, but nursing, retirement home, or whatever. But there's certain people that have problems with letting people in, and not just that, but also letting go, because there is this huge fear in the brain of something that, what if it was never that? What if it was never that? And then you come to see that, that's not what's going on. That was never what was going on. Never. In nursing homes or some things. Maybe people are making shit up, making things up, and then maybe these are the only people that was possibly getting beat up was maybe just like, you know, under psychiatric treatments at the same time, and messed up in the head. You know what I mean? And but the thing is, the person was this way all the time, messed up in the head all the time, all their life. So, and they're still at it, and they're old age, and they're in a nursing home. Now, we can't compare someone that is like messed up in the head versus your own mom, mother, and grandmother. Are they messed up in the head enough to for someone to beat that one up? I don't know. We have to start to think a little bit more in the brain, what really creates someone to beat someone up? What makes that happen? These people don't sit back and think about it. They don't. They think it's just everywhere, everywhere. It's not everywhere. This is the very thing I tried to explain. Es- Especially my ex-boyfriend about his mom. Now, once I start to see resistance and more strength on his side, on his control of how he thinks what needs to be, I let it go. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to tell you anymore. I'm going to let you think about it. But when time goes by, you will see how hard it will be, and harder and harder and harder. If someone is really dealing with their mom, I just don't know. I'm out of that situation. Like, I don't even know the outcome of that because I just, I don't want to be in that because it's just too private for me to get in there and to you know put my 2 cents in. But I already told my 2 cents to him. So I don't know how that uh lung disease is going on over there. I don't even know if it is a lung disease or whatever is going on over there. Um because it's just very questionable whatever is going on over there and however he's doing it. And of course, people will always look guilty is when they get too controlling and too defensive and too like go away. Because when someone does that, it's just too suspicious and guilty. And it has nothing to do with me trying to tell someone what to do. Like, none of that. About their own life and about their own mother. And I just said it possibly like maybe 1, 2 times about what I think that where this is going. If it's going downward and if the health is going more down, I'm like, well, I think this is what's going to be happening. You can't even, you won't be able to keep up all the time. It's just people think that they're on. This is when it gets to a point is that when people think they are doctors themselves and nurses that they can do it all, and they never actually went and learned about that too, and that's the funny part right there. And it's like, well, it is what it is. Just leave this. I would. I'm sorry. I would just leave the situation be. So it became this way because we're talking about um old age, and how a narcissist or anyone will see when it comes to losing the belief of loyalty and trust. And they're just going to have to see it for themselves, in the end, for themselves or about someone else, or maybe about their own mother or their own grandmother, that, what happened there? Did, did they take care of them and stuff like that? They will start to see, because there was a lot of fear-based, stories, and then they realize, oh, it's not so bad. And I'm like, well, well, should have thought about that before, right? And that's where certain people are going to be when they were just too much on the, oh, I think I know what's best. But then the reasons why they were on that, is because either the mom or the grandma had the, it didn't want to go, wanted the family to be around. Yeah, it's um it's understandable about that, but when things get worse, that part there goes to the side, you know, goes to the wayside. And yeah, it's good to have family around, but then we're gonna have to start to think about, uh one's health and one's safety, because not everyone can be around all the time. Everyone's grown, everyone has lives, everyone has things to do. We can't do this all the time. Sorry about that. But then this is the reasons why, we all move on. We have lives, right? Um, things happen. We got to do things. We need to, oh, this, that, and the other. All of a sudden, oh, our lives change too, and we have to do something. Well, but it doesn't mean that other people's lives don't change for the better for the situation. You know what I mean? Um, so I think I'm done here talking. So I'll see you guys